So as the risk of freezing or busted pipes got you looking for a solution, me as well, because we recently went through one heck of a cold spell down here in Florida of all places, and we just wound up with busted pipes thanks to a deep freeze. And I think I've found a solution that's going to protect my pipes and keep running water to our home even in sub-freezing temperatures. So spoiler alert, I've already been testing a couple of these for the last couple of weeks in crazy temperatures, at least for southern standards, and I was impressed enough with them. I just ordered in 4 more, and we're going to show you the test in this particular video. So as y'all can see, unbelievably windy. We just had a cold front blow through, and I kid y'all not, it's supposed to be in the teens here tonight in Florida and a 5-degree wind chill. So busted pipes is absolutely on the menu if we don't do something about it. And recently, a couple weeks ago, it was 18 degrees here, and we did wind up with busted pipes even though we had everything wrapped, insulated. And what I typically use is these faucet, insulated socks that slides over. Well, bad news. We've been getting so cold here lately, my faucets still wind up freezing solid inside of these. The typical wrap insulation, while it does work, is not good enough in conjunction with this. And like I said, I wound up with busted pipes. Not something I want to deal with anymore. So dripping water is one of the best things you can do. And this is supposed to do it automatically. Now, a lot of y'all are saying, hey, you can just open up your faucets. Well, I got bad news for you. I have slowly been moving to quarter-turn faucets all around my property because they don't back off. These typical twist-style faucets, you can have them dripping, come back out in an hour or two, and they close themselves off. You wind up with frozen and busted faucets. I've seen it happen time and time again. All right, so these freeze misers are made in the USA. Like I said, not cheap, but patented technology, and I've looked at some of the off-brands of these. The reviews were horrible, so I decided to go with the actual brand. Plus, it's always good to support American business anyways. So here's what it says on the package. Once the temperature drops 37 degrees or lower, which we're about to, even though it's middle of the day here, these start dripping, and they'll do a steady drip all the way down all night long. And as soon as the sun comes back out and you go back above 37 degrees, these cut themselves off. So you don't wind up wasting water. And, maybe it's at a second home or somewhere else to where you can't be there constantly monitoring these. All right, so let's open these up, put them on some faucets, and we'll start monitoring the temperature today all through the night. They should be turning themselves on here in a little while, as cold as it is. And we'll see if they cut themselves off in the morning. And being that we're going to be 5 degrees tonight with the wind chill, I want to see if we have any busted pipes tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I'm hoping that we don't. An area where I wound up with busted pipes a couple of weeks ago when it was 18 degrees. So now I run a heat lamp down on some of my exposed plumbing. But this up top, well, I've been trying to protect it. Thankfully, it hasn't busted on me yet. Definitely need freeze protection here. Okay, I mean, it doesn't get any more simple than this. Screw this bad boy on. Open up your water and wait for the temperature drop and just start dripping. All right, y'all, here we are after dark, and I'm just checking everything. It's already 20 degrees and dropping so fast. Again, it's going to be 5 degrees tonight with the wind chill. Pipes would already be busting right now at 20, about to go into the teens. And it's early. Sun hasn't been down long. Well, that one is definitely dripping, although not a steady drip, but it's dripping. All right, let's continue to check the rest of these because I can't afford busted pipes tonight. See how quick that's dripping? That's what I like to see. Now, the one on the back side of the house that I just checked, well, that was in a warm spot this afternoon, so it's probably not quite at the temp this is. In this right here, which y'all can't see, that's north wind. So this is the coldest side of the house. That might make sense why that one's dripping a whole lot more. All right, this one's also hitting north wind. Yes, working perfect. We got our pool pump running tonight because, well, we don't drain pools in Florida because it never gets this cold. So if you just run your pool pump all night, your pipes won't bust. All right, this one is kind of doing that little spitting, dripping, but I do have the heat lamp over here. Maybe that'll help. That's the pipes that busted last time we were 18 degrees a few weeks ago. Okay, I got another one over here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, see? All right, looks like the ones that aren't on the south side of the house or near a heat lamp are dripping perfectly. Man, so far so good. All right, so here we are next morning, and it's currently 19 degrees, and we've been flirting with single-digit wind chills all night long, thanks to the wind. So the big question, do we have any busted pipes? It's been below freezing since yesterday afternoon. So after 14 to 16 hours below freezing, and now in the teens, let's see if these things work. Well, the good news is the first one is dripping. Obviously, we didn't freeze up, so nothing should be busted. That's great. All right, let's check this one. As you can see, this one is exposed to the north wind, and we were gusting 25 to 35 miles an hour yesterday. It's finally starting to lay. As a result, you can see where it blew. You see that ice, buddy? You see where it blew all the water all night long. Well, this one's flowing real good. All right. Excellent. That one has not froze up either. You gonna play with that ice, buddy? That one's pouring really good. Boy, you love ice, don't you? And if we take a look here, fantastic. And yeah, this one's pouring good. It's been pouring all night long. So I can say these worked on one of the coldest days we've had this year. All right, so here we are late in the day. I was starting to think it was not going to get above freezing today, which is extremely rare for Florida. But we just hit 40 degrees, wind chill still below the 37 trigger, but I don't think that'll matter. So I'm going out checking. I want to make for sure all these have cut back off like they should have before we give this a thumbs up. So you can see it's so cold the ice is not even melting, but we are 40 degrees. This is in the sun, and it cut itself off. Now here's something worth noting. We're in the shade, and it is in the low 30s with the wind chill. So this one has not activated to turn itself off, but that kind of seems about right. I should also mention I've had this one for a couple of weeks, and it has successfully cycled off and on through all these cold and warm spells that we've had. So I think it's because we're in the shade and we're so close to that trigger temp. So this one's in the sun, and as you can see, it's cut itself off. So yeah, that's the only issue. Just cold over there in the shade. It's still quite windy. All right, that one has cut itself off. And this one has also cut itself off. All right, I think we can call this a success. While yeah, they're a little pricey, I'm gonna put some Amazon links down in the description. This was not a sponsored video. I paid for all this myself, but if you do use that Amazon link, I do earn a small commission, which would be greatly appreciated. I'll use any money from that to probably buy some more of those to put on my other outdoor faucets that I currently have drained. So this was a highly recommended item for me. The reviews are fantastic. I'm telling you, you're gonna be tempted like I was to go buy some knockoff brands. Go read the reviews. They're not good. Horrible failure rates, and well, let's face it, it's better to spend a little extra money, buy an American-made product, support an American company, and typically you get a more quality product whenever you do that as well. So after a couple of weeks of testing, I highly recommend these. We just went through what's probably going to be our coldest day, maybe in the next several winters. No busted pipes, nothing froze up. I call that a success. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.